So today we're looking at the OnePlus 11 5G. This comes in Eternal Green or Titan Black. Now this one's got 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's only available in the Titan Black color. Right now they've got a free memory upgrade. Get the 16 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage. Kind of wish I would have known about that before ordering mine. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes sometimes. Just a quick size comparison on the box here. Looks like we're definitely getting a wall adapter with this one, unlike the S23 Ultra. I also went ahead and ordered the sandstone bumper case just to see what that was like. Okay, yeah, that's got some pretty good grip on it. Definitely feels like the old sandstone texture there. Pretty nice looking case, really. This has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, 3rd gen Hasselblad cameras. Also has Dolby Vision, HDR, Dolby Atmos. Looks like you've got a little adapter here if you're switching phones. This one also has dual nano SIM card slots and is eSIM compatible as well. Comes with Android 13, Oxygen OS 13.0. Also has a 5000 milliamp hour battery. Has 80 watt fast charging. It's got a 16 megapixel front facing camera, 32 megapixel main lens there on the back. This one can record video up to 8K 24 frames per second and then 4K at 60 frames per second. Okay, I kind of like the texture on the back here. Not quite as grippy as the sandstone case, but still not bad. It's got a 6.7 inch, 120 hertz super fluid AMOLED display, 3216 by 1440 resolution at 525 ppi. It's slightly curved on the sides. I would have liked to see it with a flat screen, but the curve's pretty subtle, so I don't think most people are gonna mind. You can see pretty interesting layout there on the back for the cameras. Also has the Hasselblad branding in the middle as well. You can see they've got the alert slider again. I feel like that's a must-have if you get a OnePlus phone. Then you've got the power on the right, volume buttons on the left. You've got your USB-C charging, speaker, and SIM card tray down at the bottom. Also looks like there's a built-in screen protector on here. I always like that because sometimes I just leave it on there. Hole punch style front-facing camera up in the corner. Definitely has a little better grip if you put the case on. Very minimal screen protection though. Now, one thing I do notice with this phone right away, this feels a lot lighter than the Galaxy S23 Ultra. And then when you put this next to the S23 Ultra, they're almost identical as far as how large they are. It's not quite as wide as the Samsung. And the thickness is fairly similar, mainly because of the cameras. During setup, you've got fingerprint, face unlock, and password as well. You've got the option of buttons or gesture navigation during setup as well. Now, as far as storage goes, it looks like it's using 30 gigabytes of the 128 available. Definitely a lot less system storage than on the S23 Ultra. It's been a little while since I've used a OnePlus device. So far, I kind of like what I'm seeing. I know some people don't like the direction they're going with the software. Looks like they've got Google Discover left of the home screen. Swipe up to see all the pre-installed apps. And I don't really see a lot of bloatware, mostly the apps from Google. Now, instead of the typical notification shade at the top, you can also do their shelf. I was never really a fan of that, so I'll just keep it the notification drawer. So up in the notification shade, it does look a little bit different than on other Android phones. Not drastically different though. You've got most of your typical stuff, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode, flashlight, nature tone display, auto rotate, wallet, device controls, nearby share, eye comfort mode, power saving, screenshot, screen recording, personal hotspot, do not disturb, screencast, NFC, and QR code. And then it looks like you've got quite a few options here to add, like Zen mode, work and focus mode, Dolby Atmos, mute notifications, and so on. I'm always curious on what wallpapers they have. Okay, I actually kind of like their options. I can also tell just moving around the software definitely feels nice and smooth, which is kind of expected with the new Snapdragon processor. It also lets you change the refresh rate from 120 to 60 Hz. Same thing with the screen resolution. You can change that from Full HD to Quad HD+. It's also going to let you rearrange the button layout, wake the Google Assistant with the home button, or you can switch to gestures as well. Nice thing is you can watch YouTube videos up to 4K resolution, Full HD playback resolution on apps like Netflix. As far as Geekbench scores go, this is going to be right on par with the S23 Ultra, maybe just a hair under on multi-core score. I can already tell really nice performance on here. Moving around the software is nice and snappy. Everything about this phone pretty much says flagship device. This one actually fits my Razer Kishi controller. The S23 Ultra, it's a little too big, unfortunately. But just testing out games like PUBG Mobile, Asphalt 9, everything's nice and smooth on here. Pretty much what you would expect from a flagship device. Not to mention the 80-watt fast charging on here. I feel like it makes up for not having wireless charging. I went ahead and ran my typical battery drain test, and yeah, this thing has crazy good battery life. It lasted almost 14 hours at 100% screen brightness before finally dying. So definitely right up there with some of the best battery life as far as phones go. Now the speakers on here actually sound really nice, probably just as good as most other flagships out there. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what they sound like.
And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
Now in the photo app, you've got night, video, photo, portrait, and then in more, you've got pro, panel, movie, slow-mo, time-lapse, long exposure, dual view video, tilt shift, and X-pan. You can also modify that to go down here so you don't have to go into more every time. Super fast shutter speed on here. This might be even faster than on the S23 Ultra. Really nice resolution, and the colors look pretty accurate as well. Here's a few samples of photos and video just to give you an idea of what to expect from the OnePlus 11 5G. Not sure if you can tell from these photo and video samples, but everything looks really nice on here, especially when you're comparing it to other phones that I've tested. I'm not sure yet if this is gonna be the Pixel phones and the new S23 series from Samsung, but if it doesn't beat those, it's right there with them. I feel like this is gonna be pretty close. I'll probably go ahead and compare this to a couple phones that I've got just to see how it does, and I may do a case video on this one as well, so you'll wanna look out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.